Welcome to medieval Sleepy, a place where the world slows and the night begins to whisper. Here you'll drift through forgotten castles, quiet forests, and rain-soaked villages, places where time itself moves softly. Let the air grow still around you. Let your breath find its rhythm. You are safe here, warm, and far from the noise of the waking world. Tonight's story awaits, somewhere deep in the calm of the old kingdom. Close your eyes, listen, and let the journey begin. The night has grown long and silver. The last of the autumn leaves cling to the branches above you, trembling softly as the wind passes through. The air smells of rain, clean, earthy, ancient, and as you walk along the old cobblestone path, you can hear the soft music of droplets tapping against your cloak. Each step feels unhurried, deliberate, as if time itself has slowed to listen. You walk alone, though the solitude feels kind, not cold. The path winds through the forest like an old memory, familiar and peaceful. Moss glows faintly green against the stones, and the fallen leaves, bronze, russet, and gold, form a quiet carpet beneath your boots. In the distance, you can just make out the sound of a river, steady and low, like a lullaby whispered through the valley. The lantern in your hand flickers. Its golden flame dances behind the glass, bending to the rhythm of the wind. Raindrops hiss, gently as they kiss the metal frame. You draw your cloak closer, feeling the soft wool against your fingertips, warm and textured, smelling faintly of wood smoke and lavender. You breathe in deeply. The air is cool, soothing, touched with the sweetness of wet earth and pine resin. The forest sighs around you, leaves shivering, water trickling, the distant hoot of an owl somewhere beyond the mist. You walk on, guided by the sound of the rain. Ahead, the trees begin to thin. Through the soft veil of mist, a light glows, not harsh or bright, but gentle, steady, like the heartbeat of a place long forgotten. You follow it, drawn by something you can't quite name. The rain thickens, silver threads falling through the air, whispering as they strike the stone bridge before you. You cross it slowly. Beneath the arch, the stream hums with quiet life, its surface rippling like silk. The water smells faintly of autumn leaves and distant mountains. You pause, resting your hand on the cool lichen-covered railing. For a moment, the world feels perfectly still. You notice something strange and beautiful. Each raindrop that lands upon the stone glows faintly before fading, as though the night itself has learned to dream. The mist swirls in soft curls around your feet, wrapping you in silver. The world feels distant now, or maybe you do. The edges of thought begin to blur. You walk on, beyond the bridge. The path leads to an ancient village, quiet beneath the rain. The cottages are small, their roofs heavy with moss and years. Light glows in a few windows, soft as candle flame through thick glass. Smoke curls from a single chimney, and the smell of wood fire drifts through the damp air, comforting, familiar, warm. You hear the faint murmur of life, the clatter of a pot, the sigh of a door closing, but it all feels far away, muffled by rain and time. The village is at peace as you pass the first cottage. You notice a wooden sign swaying gently in the wind, the Wayfarer's Rest. The name feels right, as though it's been waiting for you. The door is slightly open, light spilling onto the wet cobblestones. You step closer. The hinges creak softly, not from neglect, but from age and use. Warm air greets you, carrying the scent of stew, baked bread, and the faint sweetness of honeyed wine. Inside, the inn glows with quiet life. A fire crackles in the hearth, filling the room with amber light. The wooden beams overhead are dark and polished, the tables scattered with candles that drip lazily down their holders. The sound of rain outside fades to a hushed percussion, a lullaby against the old stone walls. You lower your hood and feel the heat on your face. Gentle, slow, wrapping around you like a blanket. A cat sleeps on the hearthstone, its fur rising and falling with steady breaths. Near the window, an old lute rests against a chair, a single string humming faintly as the wind slips through the cracks. No one speaks. The inn feels half awake, like a dream continuing after dawn. You find a seat by the fire. The wooden chair is worn smooth by time, the kind that remembers countless travelers before you. Your cloak steams faintly as the rain dries. The warmth of the fire seeps through your clothes, reaching the spaces between your shoulders, melting the chill. You close your eyes for a moment. You can hear the sound of the rain again, softer now, distant, but still present. It falls against the roof in an endless rhythm. You feel your heartbeat begin to match it, slower, steadier, quieter. The innkeeper, an old woman with kind eyes and silver hair, passes by. She smiles faintly, but does not speak. She doesn't need to. She sets a small cup before you. Inside is warm milk, thick with honey and herbs. The scent is calming, chamomile, clover, and a touch of cinnamon. You take a sip. The warmth flows through you, down to your fingertips. The world softens. Outside the rain deepens. The windows blur with droplets, and beyond them, the forest sways in slow rhythm. Lanterns flicker along the road, their reflections trembling in puddles. The sound of thunder hums faintly somewhere far beyond the hills, not fierce, only distant, like the sky's own sigh. The inn creaks softly with the wind. The fire pops. The cat stretches, turns once, and curls back into sleep. You watch the flames dance and breathe in time with their rhythm, rising, falling, rising again. The woman hums a low tune as she tends to the fire. It's a song without words, something old, something kind. The melody winds through the air like smoke, gentle and round. You feel it, the warmth, the quiet, the peace that comes when the world outside is all rain and memory. You think of the road you walked, the bridge, the mist, the glowing path, and realize you no longer remember when you began to feel so light. Your eyelids are heavy now, your thoughts soft around the edges. The rain slows, the fire sighs. Somewhere, a clock chimes softly, marking the hour, though it feels less like time and more like the rhythm of the dream. You've entered. The innkeeper's voice drifts to you, low and comforting. Rest here a while. The night is long, but gentle. You nod, though you are already half in sleep. The chair beneath you feels like a cradle. The warmth feels endless. The rain has become part of your breathing. You close your eyes. You hear nothing but the quiet, and the rain, and the soft whisper of your own dream beginning. And as the night deepens, the world outside fades until all that remains is warmth, rain, and rest. The rain has softened to a hush. Each drop now falls like a whispered note, tapping gently against the window panes of the old inn. The world outside glows faintly with moonlight, blurred and silvered by mist. You sit quietly by the fire, listening. The air smells of rain-damp stone and wood smoke, a scent as ancient as the walls themselves. The warmth from the hearth has settled into the room, weaving through every creak of the timber and sigh of the wind. The fire crackles lazily, its light rippling across the old beams, like the flicker of candlelight across still water. You breathe slowly. The warmth travels deeper now, into your shoulders, into your chest, into your heartbeat. You feel it slow, steady, patient. Time feels softer here. Across the room, a lantern hangs by the window. Its glass is clouded with age, its light trembling slightly with every gust outside. You watch it, drawn to its rhythm, bright, dim, bright again, like a slow pulse against the rainy night. You stand and move closer. The floorboards creak beneath your steps, their sound low and deep, almost musical. You rest your hand against the wall for balance, and the wood feels alive, warm from the fire's breath. The cat by the hearth opens one golden eye, then closes it again, sinking deeper into sleep. The window waits. Beyond the glass, the village is bathed in a faint, silvery rain. Roofs glisten, puddles shimmer with reflections of lanterns. A thin mist moves through the narrow streets like a living thing, gentle, harmless, curious. You rest your hand against the cool glass. The chill is soothing, the way cool linen feels against warm skin. Tiny droplets race each other down the pane, merging, partying, joining again. You follow their path until they disappear into the sill. The lantern's flame wavers, reflected 100 times across the raindrops. Each reflection looks like a small world, a fragment of light floating between dreams. You feel the faint vibration of footsteps upstairs. The inn sighs again, settling into the night. Somewhere, a door closes softly. Somewhere else, a lullaby hums a mother's voice, perhaps soothing a restless child. The melody drifts through the floorboards, fading and returning like the tide. You find yourself swaying slightly to its rhythm. The rain thickens for a moment, pattering like 1,000 tiny heartbeats against the roof. You can smell the dampness rising from the earth outside, that deep, comforting scent that comes only in autumn when the world exhales and begins to rest. You draw the curtain halfway and sit by the window. A small wooden bench rests beneath it, cushioned with old embroidered fabric. The fabric smells faintly of lavender and smoke, worn smooth by years of quiet evenings like this one. You sit, feeling the faint vibration of the rain through the wall. You rest your head against the frame. The wood hums softly with the night's rhythm. There is a sense, just for a moment, that you've sat here before. In another dream, another autumn, Another rain. The memory isn't clear, but the feeling is familiar. The safety, the warmth, the sound of rain wrapping the world in gentleness. A candle flickers beside you. Its wax has pooled, warm and golden, reflecting the tiny flame that leans toward you with each breath of air. You reach out and feel the faintest warmth near your fingertips. The smell of beeswax and honey fills the air. You close your eyes. Behind your eyelids, you still see the rain. You still hear it, not as a sound, but as a feeling. A steady, slow rhythm that matches your breath. Somewhere, a clock chimes once. The hour passes like a sigh. You think of the road that led you here, the stone bridge, the glowing droplets, the mist that danced between trees. You realize how distant it feels now, as if you've crossed not only space, but time. The forest was part of the waking world, but in this rain, this stillness, they belong to the dream. You are no longer the traveler. You are the dream itself, unfolding, quiet, timeless. The lantern beside you wavers again, and its light spreads across the window pane, forming golden ripples on the glass. Through those ripples, the night shifts almost imperceptibly. You think you see someone outside, far down the road. A figure walking slowly through the rain. The shape moves like a reflection, fluid and unreal, its edges softened by mist. It glows faintly, as if made of moonlight, but you feel no fear. The presence is gentle, familiar, almost kind. You blink, and the figure is gone, or perhaps it never was. You lean your head back. The bench creaks softly beneath your weight. Your eyelids flutter open and closed. The sound of rain thickens again, wrapping you in silver. The warmth of the room becomes heavier, like a blanket settling over your shoulders. You hear the wind slide across the chimney. You hear the faint chime of a metal chain against the lantern hook. You hear your own breath, slower now, deeper, quieter. The cat purrs once from across the room, a low, steady vibration that joins the rain's rhythm. You feel yourself sinking, not into sleep just yet, but into stillness. That precious in-between space where dreams begin to form and thoughts dissolve like mist. The rain changes its tone, softer, more distant, as if it has moved to the far edge of the night. The inn seems to breathe with you. The walls creak like sighs. The fire pops once, then settles. You are safe. You are warm. You are surrounded by quiet. The lantern's flame grows smaller, dimmer, as if bowing to the darkness. You watch it flicker one last time before lowering your gaze. Outside, the rain glows faintly with the reflection of the moon. Inside, the only light is the embers of the fire, red, gold, and soft. You draw your cloak tighter, letting its folds wrap around you like a cocoon. The warmth and weight are comforting. You rest your hands upon your lap, your fingers relaxed, your shoulders loose. The innkeeper passes once more, carrying another lantern. She pauses at the stairs and looks toward you. Her expression is peaceful, almost knowing. The rain will sing you to sleep, she whispers. Then she ascends, her footsteps fading one by one until only silence remains. The inn breathes again. The rain hums. You let your eyes close, slowly, gently. You drift between the flicker of firelight and the rhythm of rain. A dream begins to take shape, faint at first, but growing clearer. In it, you stand again beneath the trees, the world painted in silver and amber. The rain falls, and every drop holds a tiny reflection of the lantern in your room. You walk through them, each reflection leading deeper, softer, farther from waking, and somewhere beyond the mist. The figure from the road turns and smiles, the same smile you saw once before, perhaps long ago, in another dream. You are not alone. You never were. The dream watches over you, and the rain continues to fall. The rain has faded into mist. Only the hush of dripping eaves remains, falling in a rhythm so gentle it seems to match the beat of your heart. The inn lies still around you, a cradle of warmth and amber glow. The fire has burned low, leaving only quiet embers that pulse faintly in the hearth, red as sleeping stars. The lantern by the window has gone dim. Its light flickers now and then, as though it too is drowsing. The air in the room has cooled slightly, bringing with it the faint scent of rain-soaked wood and autumn leaves carried on the night wind. You stir, half waking, half dreaming. The boundary between the two feels fragile now, soft, transparent, like the thin veil of fog outside the window. You rise slowly. The wooden floor is cool beneath your bare feet, smooth from centuries of footsteps. The cat by the hearth doesn't move, only stretches once, sighs, and curls back into warmth. The inn is silent, but the silence feels alive, full of soft echoes and forgotten lullabies. You move toward the door, drawn by something gentle, not urgency, but invitation. When you open the door, the air greets you fresh, damp and cool against your face. The sound of the forest has changed, no longer the steady fall of rain, but the dripping rhythm of leaves and the distant murmur of streams. The moon hangs pale behind a curtain of mist, and everything glows faintly silver. You step outside. The world feels suspended, hushed, watching, waiting. Each breath you take tastes of rain and pine. Each step along the wet cobblestone path brings a new texture beneath your feet. Smooth stone, soft moss, the occasional crunch of fallen leaf. The village sleeps behind you. Chimneys rise like dark silhouettes against the pale sky. Only one lantern remains lit, the one by the inn's window, flickering faintly as if waving farewell. You walk toward the forest. The mist parts for you, curling around your shoulders, cool and feather-light. The path narrows, turning to soil. The scent of damp earth grows stronger. The trees stand tall and ancient here. Their trunks twist with age, their branches heavy with rain. Every leaf glistens. The forest seems to breathe, slow and deep, like an old creature resting. You hear it, the whisper, not words, exactly. Just the soft murmur of wind moving through leaves, the echo of water dripping from branch to branch. Yet it feels like language, a lullaby sung in the tongue of the woods. You close your eyes and listen. There's a rhythm to it, a rise and fall, a pulse that syncs with your breath. The longer you stand still, the more the world seems to slow. The sounds stretch out, gentle and distant, until you can almost hear the spaces between them, the silence beneath the sound, deep and endless. You open your eyes again. The forest glows faintly. The mist catches the moonlight and turns it to silver dust. You can see your breath drift in front of you, merging with the air, becoming part of the night. There, between the trees, lies a faint light, soft, golden, like the reflection of a lantern on still water. You move toward it, one slow step at a time. The forest floor gives slightly beneath your feet, springy with moss. The smell of wet bark and earth fills your senses. Somewhere nearby, an owl calls, one low note that fades like a sigh. The light grows nearer. You reach a clearing. In the center stands an old oak tree, its trunk wide enough to shelter a cottage beneath it. At its roots rests a small pool of water, rain gathered from the night. Smooth as glass, the light you saw comes from the pool itself. Its surface glows faintly, rippling with reflections that seem to move on their own. You kneel beside it. The ground is soft and damp, cool beneath your fingertips. You lean forward and look into the water. For a moment, you see only your reflection, the pale outline of your face, the shadow of trees bending above you. But then, slowly, the image begins to shift. The reflection changes. The inn appears, faintly, like a memory. The firelight, the sleeping cat, the lantern by the window. Then the forest path you walked, the bridge, the rain. Each moment flickers across the surface, like scenes from a dream, and then a figure, the same one you glimpsed before, far off in the rain. They stand among the trees, their outline blurred by mist. You cannot see their face, only the glow that surrounds them, faint, silvery calm. They do not move, but the reflection ripples slightly, as though acknowledging you. You feel no fear, only stillness. The forest grows quieter. Even the dripping of rain seems to pause. The air itself feels heavy with peace. The reflection fades. Only the pool remains, glowing softly, pulsing like a heartbeat. You dip your fingers into the water. It is cool, smooth as silk. Rings of light spread outward, shimmering in slow waves. The touch sends a faint tingling warmth through your hand, up your arm, into your chest. You close your eyes again. You feel yourself breathe deeper, slower, calmer. The whispering returns, closer now, clearer. It is the forest speaking in its wordless tongue, a song of rest, of rain, of endless sleep. You listen. You have walked far, it seems to say. Now the night will carry you. The sound fades into the rustling of leaves. Your heartbeat matches the rhythm of the forest, slow, deliberate, tender. The mist curls around your shoulders again, soft as wool. The moonlight spills through the branches, resting gently on your skin. You feel the warmth of the water lingering in your fingertips, as if the pool itself has left a quiet blessing. When you open your eyes, the clearing looks softer, dreamlike. The edges of everything blur. The trees, the ground, even your own hands. It is as though the forest has taken you inside its dream. You stand breathing in the scent of rain and moss. You look up through the branches. The sky above is pale and low, filled with slow-moving clouds. The moon drifts behind them, glowing faintly like a lantern behind silk. You begin to walk again, though you do not know where the path leads. Each step feels lighter than the one before. The sound of the forest follows, a gentle rustle, a trickle of water, the soft hum of peace. You realize that your eyes are half closed as you walk, that the world is fading into rhythm, that every sound is a lullaby. You are drifting again, not away, but inward, into the quiet space where rain becomes breath and breath becomes sleep. The forest watches, kind and patient, and somewhere far away, perhaps in another time, the inn's lantern still burns softly by the window, waiting, glowing, watching over you. The whisper fades, the mist thickens, the world exhales, and you simply let go. The forest fades behind you. Its whispers linger in your thoughts like the last notes of a song, fading gently into silence. Ahead, the mist parts once more, revealing the soft curve of a river, glimmering pale beneath the moon. You hear it before. You see it, the faint, liquid sound of water moving over smooth stones, steady and slow. The air here feels cooler, kissed with the scent of river lilies and the sweetness of wet grass. The rain has stopped entirely, leaving only the hush of dripping leaves and the soft sigh of flowing water. You walk toward it, your steps soundless on the damp earth. Each breath you take feels deep and clean. The mist gathers low along the banks, curling over the water like silk unraveling in slow motion. And then you see it. The bridge, it rises from the riverbank like something from a dream, built of smooth white stone worn pale with age. Moss grows in soft green lines between each block, and at the center, where the moonlight touches it, the stone glows faintly silver. The air feels different here, deeper somehow. Still, sacred, quiet. You step onto the bridge, the first stone. Beneath your foot is cool, almost cold, but smooth as glass. The sound of the river deepens beneath you, echoing softly through the arch. You pause, letting your hand brush the stone railing. It feels ancient, strong, comforting. The moon hangs low above, reflected perfectly in the dark water below. The reflection trembles gently with each ripple, like the world itself is breathing. You take another step, and another. Slowly, the rhythm of your steps joins the rhythm of the river, soft, slow, endless. You look down. The water is impossibly clear. Beneath its surface, smooth stones shimmer, and here and there a silver fish drifts lazily between them. The moonlight catches their scales, scattering light like tiny falling stars. The air smells faintly of wild mint and river reeds. You breathe it in, and it feels as though the world is washing through you, cleansing, cooling, stilling. Halfway across the bridge, you stop. The mist thickens around you, curling like breath. The sound of the water deepens, surrounding you in a cocoon of gentle movement. And then for a moment, everything stills. The river goes silent. The air pauses. Even the mist seems to hold its breath. And in that stillness, you hear it, a faint hum, so soft it could be your own heartbeat. It comes from below, from the water, from the reflection of the moon itself. You lean over slightly, gazing down into the shifting silver. The surface begins to ripple, forming circles that move outward. Glowing faintly in the dark, dot in those ripples. Shapes begin to appear, faint and blurred at first, like dreams half remembered. The inn's lantern, the old oak, the road, through the forest. Each moment of your journey reflected and remade in the trembling light. And there again, that same figure, the dreamer, the one of silver glow and soft presence. They stand on the far end of the bridge now, motionless, almost luminous in the moonlight. Their cloak moves slightly in the wind, though there is no sound, no words, no urgency. Only calm. You feel the air change around you, not colder, not warmer, just deeper, like a held breath. The mist thickens between you and the figure until they are only a pale outline in the light. And then they move slowly, gracefully, almost like drifting mist themselves. They raise a hand, a gesture of peace, of invitation. You take a step forward. The bridge feels softer beneath your feet. Another step. The air grows warmer, full of faint scent, honey, rain, firelight, all the memories of comfort you've carried. As you near the figure, they lower their hand and turn slightly, looking out over the water. You stand beside them. Together, you watch the moon reflected on the surface. One light, divided and multiplied 1,000 times in the ripples. No words are needed. Everything is already said in the quiet. The wind moves through the mist, brushing against your cheek like a cool hand. You feel an overwhelming sense of stillness, the kind that comes only when the heart lets go of everything it was holding. The figure looks at you now. Their face is calm, radiant with a soft silver glow. Their eyes seem to hold the reflection of the moon, and for a moment you see yourself there, standing in perfect peace. Weightless, timeless, the river hums again. The sound becomes a low melody, rising and falling in rhythm with your breath. You realize the river has been singing all along, a song too deep to hear until now. It sings of rest, of release, of the gentle passage between waking and dreaming. You close your eyes and listen. The words are not words, but feelings, warmth, safety, surrender. You breathe them in, one by one. And as you do, something within you loosens the last knots of thought, of worry, of time. The figure steps forward, moving to the center of the bridge. Their light grows brighter for a moment, then softens again, dissolving slowly into the mist. You do not follow, you simply stand there, breathing, watching the moon ripple across the water. The mist thickens again, filling the air with silver light. You feel the bridge beneath you, solid and soft, as if made of memory itself. And then, as though the dream itself is exhaling, the mist begins to rise. It wraps around you, gentle, weightless, and you feel yourself drifting. Your body feels lighter, your thoughts slower, the world quieter. You rest your hands on the railing. You listen to the sound of water. You let your eyes close. The last thing you feel is the cool kiss of mist against your face. And then nothing but peace. The river continues to hum. The moon glows softly above. The bridge stands unmoving, ancient and eternal, and somewhere in that deep luminous silence, sleep finds you. You awaken, or perhaps you simply arrive. It is impossible to say when the dream began, or if it ever truly did. The rain outside is gone now, replaced by a silence that hums like soft gold beneath the skin. You stand at the edge of a small stone passage, its walls glistening faintly with dew. The air here feels warmer, touched by something faintly sweet, like amber and old wood. A single light flickers at the end of the corridor, drawing you forward. Each step you take echoes gently, as though the walls themselves are whispering your name. The sound is not haunting, it is comforting, like being remembered by something ancient and kind. The corridor opens into a wide circular chamber. The floor is polished stone, smooth as still water. Around the edges, small lanterns burn with steady golden flames. They do not smoke, do not flicker. The air is too calm for movement. At the center of the chamber stands a pool, round and shallow, filled with perfectly clear water. The surface does not move, not even a ripple. You approach slowly. The light from the lanterns gathers on the surface, forming a ring of soft, liquid fire. When you lean over the edge, the water mirrors your reflection perfectly, not as you are, but as you were once, long ago, peaceful, unburdened, half smiling, as though remembering something just beyond reach. You sit by the pool. The stone beneath you is warm, holding the memory of 1,000 nights before this one. Somewhere above, faintly, rain begins again, but only as a whisper against the roof, like a forgotten lullaby returning. The sound joins the rhythm of your breath, slow and slower still. In this stillness, memories drift around you like light falling through water. You see flashes, moments of rest you never noticed before. A quiet morning with tea and rain at the window. The weight of a blanket on your shoulders. The sound of someone humming far away. Each memory passes gently across the water's surface, then fades. No sorrow, no grasping, only peace. You lower your hand into the pool. The water feels warm, almost alive, as though it knows you. A faint glow begins to spread from where your fingers touch, moving outward in ripples of light. And then, for just an instant, you hear something beneath the surface, a heartbeat, steady and deep, older than time. It is the sound of the world sleeping. The air grows softer. The lanterns dim slightly. You feel your thoughts slowing, your body growing heavier in the gentlest way. The chamber itself seems to breathe with you, expanding, contracting a rhythm that matches the pulse in your wrist. The water glows brighter now, and the reflection changes again. You see not yourself this time, but the figure from the bridge cloaked in silver, serene. They kneel across from you, mirroring your movements, though their hands never touch the water. When they speak, it is not in words, it is in feeling. All that you've carried, the silence seems to say, you may set it down here. You breathe out slowly, and with that breath, something releases a quiet surrender that needs no effort. You do not need to try to rest. You only need to allow. The air becomes thicker, gentler. Your shoulders loosen. Your chest feels light. Your eyelids grow heavy. The figure reaches out, and where their light meets the water, a soft shimmer expands. painting the walls in silver and gold. Every sound fades except for your breathing in the rain. You realize now that it's not falling outside, it's falling within the dream itself. Soft drops of light drift from the air, landing on your hands, your face, your reflection. They do not wet or chill, they soothe. Each one feels like the touch of a memory too kind to fade. You lean back slightly, eyes half closed, and listen. Somewhere in the distance, a bell chimes once, low and clear, and its echo folds into the rhythm of the rain. The figure's light dims, the pool stills, and all around you, the chamber begins to dissolve, not vanish, not end, but melt softly into the same golden mist that once filled the inn, the forest. The bridge, it feels like being carried, weightless, by the world itself. You are floating now, though you cannot tell whether it's through air, through dream, or through sleep. The difference no longer matters. Somewhere far away, the rain whispers again against unseen glass. The sound is slow, even endless. You breathe once more, deep, easy, final, and then nothing but rest. The world moves again, though you do not feel it at first. It begins with a low sigh, the sound of night loosening its hold. You are still within the dream, but something is changing. The darkness has softened, turning from deep blue to a misted gray. The air carries the faintest chill. Touched by morning's breath, you lie somewhere quiet, perhaps still in the stone chamber, perhaps in your own bed. The difference blurs. The warmth beneath you feels familiar, comforting. Your limbs are heavy, but peaceful. You are surrounded by the sound of rain, steady and rhythmic, falling upon the world outside. The water no longer sings of wandering or memory, it sings of home. You feel the soft weight of a blanket, or perhaps it is a dream of one drawn across your shoulders. The fabric smells faintly of wood smoke, of linen dried beside a hearth. Somewhere, a fire crackles, low, slow. Content. The glow of it touches the edges of your awareness like dawn touching a sleeping village. It does not wake you. It comforts you deeper into rest. The room or dream hums faintly with life returning. A window opens somewhere far off, and the scent of autumn drifts in. Wet leaves, cool stone, a trace of pine. You can almost see it, the forest beyond the castle walls, mist curling over amber fields. And though you cannot tell whether you are truly there or only dreaming, the feeling is the same. You belong. You are safe. You are home. The rain softens, each drop slower, farther apart, fading like footsteps into distance. You let your breath match it, in and out, each one gentler than the last. Somewhere, a voice, or perhaps it's only the air, speaks softly through the rain. Rest now, traveler. The path is behind you. The dream will keep watch. You almost smile. The words drift through you like warmth through water. The figure from before, the one of moonlight and quiet, stands again at the edge of your mind. Their form is faint now, woven of mist and morning. They look at you one last time, not with farewell, but with peace. Sleep, and remember, they whisper, though their lips never move. All the roads of rest lead here. And then the dream itself exhales, a long, slow sigh that sounds like wind moving through leaves. You feel your body sink, deeper, softer, into something that holds you completely. The warmth beneath you spreads. Your heartbeat steadies. Your thoughts dissolve into silver rain. The world outside brightens behind your closed eyes. A distant bell marks the hour, and the light of dawn spills gently through unseen windows. It touches your skin, cool and kind. But the light does not wake you. It only deepens your rest. Everything narrows to the rhythm of breath, rain, fire, wind, and you. Each sound folds into the other, forming a lullaby without words. The castle sleeps, the forest sleeps. Even the rain now seems to dream, and so do you. You drift further and further, through warmth and weightlessness, through silence that glows like gold dot. The voice of the world fades to a murmur. The air becomes slower. Time unravels into stillness, until at last there is only peace, only quiet, only sleep. And the rain in autumn falls on, forever gentle, forever soothing, forever whispering, rest, rest, rest.